Hey, what's up guys? I am here with a new video series where I'm going to do my best to show you my attempt at making a COD Zombies type of game. At least my version of COD Zombies. And I'm going to do like episodes of this, so this is the first episode and it's going to be pretty slow. I mean, it's going to be a pretty daunting task. But you know, I'm gonna do my best and see what can happen out of this. I'm looking forward to it. But without further ado, let's just get straight into it. All right. So my first goal here is to make the guns and weapons feel more like an arcade type of feel. Right now, currently with my add-on in Radium's armament, it's more realistic where there's actually a delay from bringing it from the resting position to the firing position. So that's the hip fire state. That's why there's that delay to bring it up from your hip like that. That's why it's been doing that in armament. But obviously in an arcade game, they just start in that like hip firing spots. Like if you play Call of Duty or Battlefield, they just start in that hip firing stage. You know what I mean? I went for a more realistic feel for my armament version. This one's going to be a completely different add-on, by the way. But yeah, so the first stage is just change all of the weapons into a more arcadey feeling. So I'll be back with that and show you what that looks like.
Many hours later.
All right, here's what they look like from a typical, you know, FPS game. Now you've got that instantly ready to fire position. So now there's no delay for all the weapons. I'm not going to go through all of them. And I will end up changing a lot of the animations, like this M4 here. I changed the reload animation to just feel more fluid for this type of gameplay. So this add-on is going to be more focused on the gameplay. So I'm going to be adding and removing things from armament to make it feel better only for the gameplay rather than a general artistic standpoint, you know what I mean? Like I was just trying to make it look cool rather than like functionality and more realistic. So now this is starting to look more like COD, you know what I'm saying? More like an FPS game. And it's only going to just keep getting closer and closer, but the next thing that immediately stands out to me is that there's no crosshairs. So let me go ahead and add some crosshairs and see what that looks like. Looking pretty nice. All of them, most guns will have different size ones. So like the AK, it will be based off of like how much spread the bullet has, you know? So that's why it gets a little bit bigger. As you can see, the MP5 shrinks down. Shotgun also expands out. And the D also shrinks down to the pretty small point there. And of course, I made them dynamic as well. So when you fire, they actually expand, just like in any, you know, FPS game. They all have that. Something like that. It looks better, obviously, but you know, this is Minecraft, so keep that in mind, and I'm no UI genius, so this is as good as it's gonna get that I can get to. But yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. A pretty solid step forward. Alright guys, so the next immediate thing that I noticed that it's missing is a point system. So as you can see on the right side of my screen, I added just a basic scoreboard counter, and I called it coins, and I put some fancy emojis to make it look like that. Now, is it going to stay like that? I don't know. This is just the first thing that popped in my head, so just think of everything as a rough draft right now. So as you might expect, if I go ahead and shoot a target, it'll give me 10 points, as you can see. And if I go ahead and spawn in some zombies, it will do the same thing. So if I hit them in the body, it'll give me 10. And if I go ahead and just kill him, it will give me 50, as you can see on top of whatever I did. And if I go ahead and headshot him and decapitate this guy, it gives me 100. So it's just like COD, the COD zombie point system. You get 10 points for just hitting the zombie, you get 50 for killing him, and then you get 100 for headshotting. So that's how it's going to work for me as well. The next thing I want to take a look at are the zombies. So let's go ahead and take a look at them and see what's going on and how I can improve them for gameplay. Alright guys, so the zombies are a major concern for me, and I will be doing my best to make them as performant as possible. So in armament, there's actually 2 entities per zombie, so there would be a head hitbox, and then just the regular zombie that controls, you know, like the limb dismemberment and everything like that. So I've went ahead and just removed the head hitbox and converted it all to just the zombie, like the main zombie, rather than just having a head hitbox. And the reason why there's a head hitbox in armament is because of the axe mechanic where you slice the head in half. That's why that exists. With scripts, that's just not possible to test like where you hit on the head with a melee weapon. Maybe in the future that will come, and that will be really sweet. That way you can use like swords and stuff to chop off arms and whatnot. That's why that doesn't exist already, or else I would have added it, trust me. But yeah, so the zombies, they're the major concern and the major gameplay point, so I want to make sure that they function very well and they're very performant, even for my mobile users, so you can have, you know, 40 to 60 zombies spawned at once, and you'll still have 40 to 60 frames while shooting and killing them. That's my main goal with the gameplay for the zombies. I really hope I can get to that. That's a very challenging task, but I'm gonna do my best, guys, and hope for the best. And that's probably the last thing I'm gonna show off in this episode, guys. It's been a solid start, in my opinion. It's really starting to feel more like a COD zombie game, you know what I mean? Just the simple, basic stuff so far. But I'm gonna go into, you know, like spawn points and then like rebuildable barriers and stuff like that in my next episode, so stay tuned for that if you guys are interested. But without further ado, guys, that's gonna do it. I hope you have a good one, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this first episode. See you later.